Over the next few weeks, I am going to be doing a spotlight review on some of the most popular traded indices in the world, including the S&P 500, FTSE 100, Dow Jones, CAC 40, DAX, and many more. Those names I've just mentioned, you've probably heard thrown around a few times, and you may not fully know exactly what they mean. And so in these videos, I will be shining a spotlight on each of these indices, and I'll be talking you through what they entail and what they mean, and how you yourself can invest in these indexes. So if any of this does sound interesting to you, then please do hit subscribe so that you are notified whenever I upload a new video. This index is based on the market capitalization of the 500 largest publicly traded companies listed on the New York Stock Exchange, or the Nasdaq. This index is one of the most talked about and commonly traded indices in the world, and investors generally consider this index to be a great indicator of where the US economy is. This index is also said to have some sort of influence on the other indexes, and because of this, it is really important to have a basic level of understanding of what the S&P 500 is. In order for a company to be included on the S&P 500 index, there are certain requirements and criteria that it has to meet, including but not limited to being a US-based company or a US-issued stock, having a market capitalization of more than $8 billion, and having positive earnings for 4 consecutive quarters. Within the S&P 500, not all companies are weighted the same. So some companies will have a higher weight or a higher proportion of the index than other companies. This weighting is calculated by dividing each company's market capitalization divided by the total market capitalization. However, it is important to note that although these indicators and criteria are used in order to decide which companies are the top 500 and therefore which companies should be included in the index, it is ultimately up to a committee of people, yes, humans, who decide what is included in the S&P 500. The great thing with indices is that they can move and change according to what is happening with the companies listed on the index. If a company is experiencing hardship and they are seeing their revenues decrease, their profits decrease, and essentially their value as a company decreases, it will eventually be delisted from the index. So because it no longer meets the criteria in order to be included in the index, it will be removed from it. This is similar to a company that rises through the ranks, such as Tesla. On December the 11th, 2020, Tesla was added to the S&P 500 as it met the index's requirements. In the process, it replaced the company Apartment Investment and Management Co. and now takes its rightful place in the S&P 500. The S&P 500 started back in 1926, but at the time, there were only 90 companies that were included in the index. It took shape into what it is today in 1957, when it included 500 companies in the index. Here we can see the annual return of the S&P 500 since 1926. There have been some years which have been in red, but most of the years have been in green. When taking the average across all of the years, the S&P 500 has seen an average yearly return or yield of 10 to 11%. Like all other indexes, you get the best value for your money when you take a long-term approach to investing. So if you are considering investing in an index like the S&P 500, it is recommended that you invest for a minimum of 5 years. Investing directly into the index itself is not an option, but there are plenty of companies which offer ETFs or index funds which track the S&P 500 index. Companies such as Vanguard, Fidelity, SPDR, iShares and Schwab's all offer their own version of the S&P 500 index. I personally invest in the Vanguard S&P 500 and it has a ticker symbol of VUSA. It's currently valued at around £53 per unit. And as you can see here, whichever investment platform you use, you will be able to find information to see the fund's performance in comparison to the index performance. Shoot me a comment down below to let me know what you think about the S&P 500. Are you invested in it? Are you thinking about it? Or do you think that the S&P 500 is a thing of the past? Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video real soon.